More than a few fights. No! And plenty of local colour.
I could tell as soon as it touched my lips, it's off.
It's usually a night to remember.
I'd say the Woolpack, how many times they've blown it up? And literally, it's the unsafest pub you ever want to be in your life.
It's been blown up, burnt down and struck by lightning. But its doors are always open.
Communities revolve around the pub. So, yeah, the Woolpack is the central hub, really.
Ultimately, everybody congregates in there.
How do you?
All the drama happens in the Woolpack.
This is no place for an argument. Well, who wants to argue?
Junkie. Con man. It felt a little bit like a Western almost, you know, coming in and just going, you're this, you're that, you're the other.
Tax evader. Did her husband's brother. Rapist for her son.
I felt terrible being horrible to Meg Johnson, who I absolutely adore.
Are you not going to tell him to leave? No.
It is nerve-wracking. I think a lot of people have had those kind of moments where you have your moment in the Woolpack.
One thing's for sure, anything can happen in the Woolpack.
Oh, he's fantastic. I remember being in the canteen and somebody coming up and saying, for the stripping storyline, and you're like, oh no, you know, you don't know what shape you're in at that time. You've got like 3 weeks to try and lose 2 stone. And then you're being oiled in front of people. All you've got to do is do it in a situation like that and think nobody will ever see it. But then, of course, 6 weeks later, when it goes out, people remind you, well, hey, you get a bit of that in the street.
The Woolpack has moved with the times. The drinks have always been real, but thankfully it's now a smoke-free zone.
Oh, look at that smoking you smoked in the pub. You can't believe it, can you?
Pint for Seth, please, and a large Scotch meal. Certainly, Mr. Turner.
Lots of people there are sadly gone now, and they were our friends and work pals, and it just reminds you that we were there, like, in that era, and we're here now, you know, and you're like, oh my God.
Last order!
This is only temporary. I want decent money, I'm not shifting barrels, and if anyone gives me any grief, I'm likely to give them a smoke.
Mandy, my dear, I'm just so glad you could spare the time.
To have been a barmaid in the Woolpacks, you know, it's a part of Emmerdale history.
Because I've worked in a lot of bars in my life, I could time the dialogue to actually pour in a pint of lager to get to the end of the sentence and serve it on that lane.
I didn't really have much to do, really, in the pub, and I used to call them my what can I get you days. What can I get you? What can I get you? What can I get you? And it does real beer, so on a Friday, cheeky half.
Forever a home from home, the Woolpack stands the test of time. Across 50 years, the baton's been passed from Amos Brearley
I shall miss it, the nose. I think it's right going to a younger man.
to current landlord Ryan Stocks.
I remember the first time I was out in the village and they had my name above the door. And that was a real moment for me, because I kind of felt, I feel like I'd solidified my place in Emmerdale.
I hereby declare the Woolpack open!
Still to come, we dish the dirt with the Dingles.
Something flew past my head and crashed against the wall. Somebody just thrown a pie or something. It's a zoo. I'm in a zoo.
And just when you thought it was safe to go back into the village, disaster strikes.
You can't kill Frank Tate!